We'll try that again.
Let me just play the intro again real quick, and then we'll get back into this because I don't know what's going on. You stream tonight.
The way I always do. How was I to know she was with the Russians too? I was gambling in Havana. I took a little risk.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody?
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Okay, us trying to do ChatLivesMatterNight Rick and Ordy show take 2 because apparently Restream died on me in the middle of our intro and I didn't notice. Anyway, so I'm one half of the crew, Mr. Rick Robinson. He's the other half, Mr. Ordnance J. Packard. And we're back. And this time we're actually live. Hopefully we can say that way.
Bro, I got to talk about it again. What an amazing day. So before we get into all the news stuff, I got to tell you what's happened to me. I farted out a tweet yesterday, as I am wont to do. Not thinking it would get any reach, just joking that I will not fall for the Japanese. I will not succumb to the Japanese thirst traps. I will not succumb to the Japanese thirst traps. Our Japanese friends got a hold of that. And something was lost in the translation, but now I understand about the poor guys who got carpet bombed with barbecue all weekend because I have been the subject of food terrorism. It has been 24 hours of nonstop ramen, sushi, tonkatsu, all of my favorite things from Japan. And you know how I have to respond to everybody who messages me, or at least try to. So I have been 10 hours clearing out my feed, replying to all of them. They're just such wonderful people. And they're inviting me, hey, come have some ramen with me. Let's go have some, sushi and blah, blah. Yes, definitely. I'm going to. And, talking old school anime with dudes like Pat LeBur and Star Blazers and Ninja Scroll. It's just this whole culture exchange we have going on with our Japanese brethren. It's amazing. And boy, do they hate Muslims as much as we do.
Which is a good thing.
Yes.
It's very good.
Together. Yes.
Yes.
One of the best memes I saw over the weekend was somebody said we should let the Japanese have nukes. And the Japanese guy replied saying, yeah, you sent us 2 of them, but something happened in shipping and they exploded when they got here. Be more careful with your shipping in the future.
Yeah, I saw that, dude. I was dying with that. I think I may actually have that one bookmarked, but yeah. But yeah, the whole thing. And again, I missed the beginning of this because this all broke when I was on one of the days that I was feeling sick. But I came back the next day and did a show on it because I was talking about how even people on our side got the reaction to this joke that Trump made so wrong because I'm watching this video and the Japanese prime minister never really did anything other than lock eyes with the reporter that asked the stupid question in the first place, and she kept staring him down while he kept talking. And I'm like, dude, she's not mad at Trump. If she was mad at Trump,
she's mad at you, bro.
If she was mad at Trump, she'd be looking at her feet because she felt disrespected. So she'd be disrespecting back by not looking at someone. This was somebody asserting dominance over a fucking stupid reporter. And I had no idea, none, that dumbass viral joke would relieve them of 80 years worth of guilt and shame in like 30 seconds. That is probably the most amazing thing to think about, because if I had known that us joking about Pearl Harbor would make Japanese people feel so much better, we'd have done it 40, 50 years ago. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I mean, the good thing, all of this kicked off is because now auto-translate works, right? So it's all of a sudden, because it's Nikita mentioned, he's the lead programmer for X. He mentioned that, compared to America, we're like nothing in Twitter use. So by opening up the floodgates of auto translate with us in Japan being able to communicate with the 2 largest Twitter using blocks in the world have now cross-pollinated. And boy, do we find out we have a lot in common.
Yeah,
and that's just fantastic.
And somebody just said in the chat, Japan has their own frog guy. He's like the mirror of couches.
Dude, yeah, no. Object and I got in with him like Sunday night or Saturday night. He just kind of popped up and he just said, "Hey, please retweet my frogs." And he had this frog like flipping the middle finger, but it only has 4 fingers, so it was like really fucking cute and shit. And and so we're just like, "Oh man, Couchy's got his Japanese equivalent," and we're like trying to get him to get in with each other and explain each other's stick to. Yeah, it's been so much damn fun.
Yeah, I have not spent much time in that part of it, but I'm starting to now.
You've got to dig.
It's been
fucking dive in, bro.
Up into it. So my only thing is, because I noticed one of the things when people started teasing you about the Japanese thirst trap stuff, when they showed you the Japanese goth chicks, we got to find out if that's a real thing. Because if it's a real thing, we need to plan a trip. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, it's a real thing. It is, and that's where I was like, that's when I said, no, I mean, okay, so seriously, like I said, talking about how I like to try to reply to everybody. The tweet is 24 hours old, 755 replies. In Musk bucks, March is going to be a great month. But fucking, like I said, 10 hours of just going, wow, that fucking looks amazing. And I'm getting like pictures of Kobe beef and some of the best, sushi I've ever seen. And God, dude, the artwork that they do with food presentation in America, they just throw shit on your plate and say, enjoy. I mean, this is stuff where like they got cute little kitten sugar cubes that dissolve into your tea or coffee. And it just, fuck, dude, they got it. They're doing it right over there. Nothing but love for our Japanese friends.
Yeah, it's definitely been interesting. But yeah, I think my favorite thing is all the little social media headlines popping up about how Japanese and American men both love big trucks and barbecue.
Yeah. Yeah, I was getting some shit in that too. It's like, yeah, you can tell the difference. I mean, Japanese men are saying, "Hey, send us tits and bikinis," and American showing my tweet going, "American men are afraid of our goth girls." Apparently, there's a joke in Japan where, like, a bunch of friends were having a sleepover, and this is what they kept sending me, where they all have to talk about their greatest fear, and one of them said that he was afraid of these like sugary treats that they have there. I can't remember the name of it right now. So all of his friends, when he was sleeping, covered the pillow next to him with all these sugary treats. So when he would wake up, he'd be like scared. And he opens his eyes and he makes a scream and then he starts eating them. And they're like, "What? I thought you were scared of those." And he's all, "Well, the only way to conquer your fear is to eat them." And they just like, we got punked. So that's what they've been, when they see my tweet, that's what they've been using the, I'm scared of whatever the word is kind of like the, I'm fishing for engagement from Japanese goth girls. Because who just love me for me.
I mean, who doesn't want engagement from Japanese goth girls?
Dude, yeah.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna fail. I'm going to succumb.
Yeah. My question is, I need to look if Japan is on a similar season schedule than ours. Or are you now going to get 2 official pumpkin spice MILF seasons?
I'm going to have to look into that too. I'm going to have to find out what their version of Halloween is. But, the good thing about, Japanese cosplay culture is that it's like the Ministry song. Every day is Halloween. God damn, I should have given you that for the bumper. But yeah, every day is Halloween there. You got the Fox girls, the cat girls, the goths. Yeah. Fuck.
So something that I found that was interesting today, and I'm kind of surprised it hasn't made it onto the VCP yet.
What's that?
Did you know there's an adult version of Star Trek: The Next Generation?
A porn version?
Yes.
Yes, I knew that.
I did not until today. But the interesting
Rule 34, bro. There is a porn version of everything. There's a porn version of Addams Family. There's a porn version of fucking Marvel superheroes.
Well, the interesting thing is, from looking at some of the stills that were put out by an account that is like a big Comic-Con account, they care more about set design and uniform accuracy than current Trek does. So there's that.
Yeah, yes, because, those who appreciate that kind of porn, not speaking for myself, of course, but They demand authenticity.
But yeah, I just thought that was interesting, and I was thinking, dude, I'm surprised that Vincent hasn't tried to scar Janelle with that yet. But anyway.
Oh, okay. So Janelle is she's very pure. So we try to avoid things that have too much over the top adult stuff in them. But it'll get referenced, I'm sure.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure it'll subtly get referenced, if nothing else. I just, like I said, I didn't even know it was a thing. But yeah, so apparently it is.
No. I'm telling you, bro. Rule 34. You want to find an Evil Dead porn parody? I'm sure it's out there.
I just want to know who they got to play Ash.
Yeah. Given the time frame, probably Ron Jeremy or Peter North.
Oh, there's a VOD.
More like Peter North, probably.
Probably Peter North, honestly.
Yeah. So hey, we sent some shit up today.
Yeah, we sent people back to space.
That's weird. I mean, we've been sending people to space for a while, but officially, as a government, it only took us 20 years to move past the NASA who wanted to make Muslims feel good about math to actually doing space shit again.
Funny how that works, but
yeah,
I mean, we're actually going back to what we consider deep space, which I have to say I didn't really think was going to start happening again in my lifetime. So I'm kind of happy.
Well, I didn't think the government would be doing it. I knew that like Musk would. I really had money on Musk being on Mars before the U.S. government went to the moon again. Prove me wrong, guys.
Well, yeah, I mean, it kind of did, but surprisingly, though, I mean, it was safe money because, I mean, government takes forever to do anything, and it's funny because everybody's been talking about it, like the difference between the quality in the coverage of the X launches versus the actual NASA launches today. They were talking about how often the camera cut out, how often the camera work was shoddy, things weren't where they were supposed to be, and somebody put together a post that had an X launch and the NASA launch side by side, and it's like, this is the difference of when the government gets out of your way.
Dude, I said the same thing because there was one of the camera shots. It was early on. It was like 3 hours before launch, and I'm watching it, and it was an over the shoulder of the commander and pilot, right? The two on the top. They got one of the guys whose foot we watched for 3 hours. Anyway, so I'm looking at it, and it's got, remember old, like, pre-HD digital, where like there would be these black bars that would surround everything, and they'd move around, and they were kind of like, they'd be on the edges of everything because the pixelation was just off, so it went to black. So it's an over-the-camera shot of the pilot and commander, I'm guessing, right? And it's doing that, and I'm looking at it, and I tweeted about it. I'm like, maybe this camera's supposed to do other things, and it's just really bad at this. I don't know. But that really shows you the difference between government and private industry, because this shot on SpaceX would be in 8K. This shot right now looks like I'm watching a Sega CD FMV made around the same time as Sewer Shark.
Hey, don't be dissing Sewer Shark.
No, I mean, at the time, that was cutting edge. That was 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Yeah, fuck off. Okay, if you can't, I mean, I get it's all put together by the lowest bidder, but still. And it must have been, they must have read that tweet, because immediately they went to a high-res camera where we got to sit at the mission commander, stare at the mission commander's foot for 3 hours. Except for when they cut to Scarlett Johansson in very 80s Hot Topic fashion, and then asking a question, and then but still, it just, Jesus fucking Christ, guys. You're the government. You have a bottomless well of money to draw from, and your camera game is less than most podcasters. Your camera looks better than they had in this capsule.
Well, and that's the scariest thing when you think about this, because they took the lowest bid, and that bid was still really fucking expensive.
Right.
Because it's the government.
Yeah. But successful launch. all the bullshit aside, I tweeted it out as soon as main engine sequence, when they started hitting the sound dampening water. I tweeted out, Godspeed Artemis 2. 1 minute in, childhood trauma unlocked, and I held my breath until Mako. I mean,
me too.
I had just lit a cigarette when they launched. I did not take one hit off that thing, and it was burning filter before I let out a slow exhale. That was just, yeah. I mean, the thing, Musk sends people to space all the time. Blue Origin sends people to space all the time. Again, this is the government, and not that I don't have faith in the space program and their safety record, and not that there weren't dozens of shuttle flights after that, right? But still, something like this was childhood trauma unlocked.
Well, yeah, I mean, I talked about it in the special that I did after the presidential speech because, I didn't see what happened to Challenger in real time, but I heard about it on the way home when we were coming back from a field trip, and all the kids on the bus thought the bus driver was just being stupid. So they started laughing and cackling and everything else, and she pulled over, stood up, and just came unglued and started bawling. So everybody sat down and shut up. And so years later, I mean, this happened when I was in 6th grade. Should have been 7th, but I got held back in 4th grade. But then in 8th grade, I was in Delaware by then. So moved from Washington State all the way to the other side of the country. Was going to school in Delaware. Our science teacher won the Krista McAuliffe Award the year before. So not only did we get a satellite dish for our school so we could watch all the NASA stuff, we actually got a portable satellite dish, and I actually was part of the team that got to go around to other schools and set it up and make sure it worked and talked about it beforehand, and then, basically got to leave school for the day to go watch shuttle launches and satellite launches and everything else. And, every time in the back of my head, I was like, every time, is this going to be another one that blows up? Please don't let this be another one that blows up. Every time. And then after a while, I kind of got past that. And then Columbia happened years later. And I'm like, not again. And that was pretty much the end of the shuttle program. Then we started relying on Russia to get to our space station for a long time.
Yeah.
Which I thought was
we had to bum rides off Russia. That's not humiliating.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, so, and this is not something that I saw beforehand, but it absolutely drove me crazy today. Because right after watching all of this stuff, American humanity gloriously returning to space, we're actually back out there again, going where no man has gone before. And then I see Tim Russ 3 hours ago, still fucking tweeting about no kings. I'm like, fuck you, dude. Yeah. He actually got us going back into space again, and it's not robots, and you're still being a dick. Just fuck you.
Yeah. Well, no, and that's just because, okay, look, everything Democrats do and the left does makes perfect sense when you realize this. We are the carbon they want to reduce. They don't want us to be a multi-planet civilization. They want us dead. So, when you understand that, and you understand how what should have been a uniting moment across not just America, but the world, except for China and Iran, at least the RGC, everybody should have been watching this and holding their breath. But instead you have these feckless fucking retards and their perpetual temper tantrum, downplaying everything. It's like the main news story I saw today was, they gave Trump a humiliating seat at the SCOTUS. It was in a really small chair in front, and they pushed him in a small chair in back. Well, which is it? Is it a small chair in the front, or is it a small chair in the back? And is it smaller than any of the other chairs? Or, it's like, this is the bullshit you focus on. You're just fucking retarded children.
Yeah, but I mean, that goes without saying. So. Well, but what was the interesting thing for me wasn't the whole brouhaha they made about where they put him, etc. It was the fact that the left was having a total meltdown about him going there in the first place, when there has always been an open seat for the president in the gallery. They've never used it until today.
Yeah.
But they've always had an available seat. So it's not like they couldn't go if they didn't want to.
Right. And I mean, that says more about them than us.
Well, a lot of this does. Because it's just, I don't know. I mean, that's like listening to the same people that don't seem to understand that one of the real reasons that I personally have an issue with this whole birthright citizenship idea is you have people from China that are part of Chinese spy program coming over here, dropping a baby, getting the baby dual citizenship, taking it home, getting it raised and indoctrinated by the CCP, and then eventually they have the option, should they ever decide to come back here and try to run for president because they're technically an American citizen. Why should that be okay?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
How is that okay?
I mean, it's a big thing. I mean, baby tourism in California is a big thing, especially with the Chinese. You know, there's hotels set up for them next to hospitals where they fly in, they have their baby in the United States, and then they fly home, but it gets its citizenship. Fuck off.
I don't get it. I mean, to me, this makes as much sense as us letting people that have, may have come here but are from, countries that don't exactly have the best track record with us, suddenly deciding that they get to run for office. I mean, there was one today that was just talking about how she is first and foremost a Guatemalan before she's an American. I'm sorry, that should make you ineligible for office as soon as you are stupid enough to say something like that publicly. I don't care about free speech at that point. I care about the fact that you're putting your home nation ahead of the one that you just took an oath to protect. Poof, you're gone. Bye. See ya. I don't care.
And, the funny thing is that these are the same people who screech about, people who dual loyalty with Israel.
You're right.
It's like, oh, they went and served in the IDF. Oh, they've got dual loyalty. Oh, they shouldn't serve and blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, I mean, look at fucking Ilhan Omar and, this is a victory for Somalia or, whatever bullshit she says. I'm bringing Somalia to America. Well, no, you're going to be going back to Somalia at this rate.
Yeah, and that needs to happen, like, I don't know, in the words of my New York friends, forthwith and post-haste.
Yes. Well, speaking of things like that, I got to introduce some of our Japanese friends to embrace the power of and.
Oh, nice. Nice. Dude, I have to admit, Grok having a basic universal translator has been kind of funny. I know it pisses people like VC off who like to post out things in French all the time, and now it gets self-translated, and he's like, fuck! But I actually kind of, and I mean, granted, I understand just enough of most of the Romance languages to be dangerous, and because of that, I understand enough Latin to be dangerous. But it's really nice not to have to worry about it anymore. I will still normally have it retranslate back to the original text and then take it into another LLM and have it double check the translation for me just to make sure that it's not anything too crazy. But it's really cool because it's like another thing that feels like from Star Trek, because these people can now talk to us in whatever language we want, and we see it.
The universal translator.
We see it in ours. Yeah. I'm like, dude, we have a universal translator. This is kind of awesome.
Yeah, and and the cool thing about that too is, it started out over the weekend. For those of you who weren't keeping track, it was just tweets in Maine, right? It's like you would be, if it was in your main feed, you would see translated from Japanese or whatever in Maine. Over the last 2 days, I've seen it starting to work its way into, so either a whole bunch of people are translating before they're replying to me, which I know they aren't, but it's starting to work in replies too. It's very few that I have to go click the tweet and then hit translate like I used to. Yeah, Jeff, I mean, you spent enough time learning Finnish so that way you wouldn't need to, but it just makes it easier for you.
I just love how he has such a glass half full approach to that whole thing. He's like, well, love me, damn it.
I mean, at this rate, I'm going to be having a Eastern harem and a Western harem. I'll have my American harem and my Japanese harem. Hope springs eternal. I just need to win that lotto, and then I will take KLRN to Japan. It'll be bigger in Japan than Godzilla.
I don't even know if I want a Western harem anymore. I'm kind of thinking the Eastern harem might be more fun.
Well, yeah.
Well,
the Eastern. I mean, when you're in California, Eastern means American and Western means Japan. But yeah, I get Far East. I get it, and I really had a hard time figuring out time zones. I understood the concept of the international date line, but asking a simple question, how many hours difference is it between California and Japan, was an exercise in pulling fucking teeth, because it went the other way. It would say like 18 hours or 16 hours. Like, that's not right. I'm 4 or 5 time zones away. No, but it's graded on because of the internet. Shut up and just tell me if I were to. Anyway.
Yeah, feeling a little cranky about time zones tonight, are we?
I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain to LLMs how time zones work.
As you shouldn't, my friend. Anyway, let's take the break because I got to get up and stretch my legs a minute. I've been sitting down for a while, so we'll be right back. welcome back into the program, ladies and gentlemen. Segment 2 of the Rick and Ordy Show coming at you live right here on KLRNRadio.com.
Hey, guy.
But it feels like a long day, but I think it's because I've been out of it again for most of the week. So this is the most I've worked in like days again. So this feels really long.
Well, it has been a long day. I mean, it's Wednesday. I never could get a hang of Wednesdays.
It's the day that's supposed to be the middle of the week, and it still feels like a Monday sometimes.
Hey, Jeff,
Anyway.
I did kind of mention cheese violence, but that was more in the I have been receiving ramen violence. Because I actually got that from one of them. Somebody was sending him a bunch of cheese food photos, and he's all, I am being inundated with cheese violence.
I love how Jeff is like, someone may have been looking at Japanese radio plays to do.
Well, there we go.
Is there a Japanese?
I mean,
is there a Japanese radio version of Space Battleship Yamato?
That would be excellent.
You know,
I mean, when I was in junior high, I tried to learn Japanese on cassette tape, and I got pretty far into it. I don't remember much of it. I remember enough to know how to pronounce the food items I want, which is about as much Mexican as I know, too. The amount of Spanish I know is enough to get slapped in the face, order my dinner, or convey my thoughts on a job site. So, and my Japanese is a little bit less than that, but yeah, we're all going to need to learn Japanese.
Wasn't there a song about that in the 80s?
Turning Japanese, yes.
There we go.
But we can modify it to I'm learning Japanese. I think I'm learning Japanese. I really think so.
So I was just thinking, you know, we'd have to see how much copyright trouble we could get into, but it probably wouldn't really be that hard if those of us that knew how to use LLMs, we could probably get together and write a hell of a KLRN version of Space Battleship Yamato. I'm just saying.
I think we could.
We could make that happen. Maybe I think it would take longer, so it'd probably be something we'd have to do maybe next year sometime. But that could be fun. We just need to figure out who gets to play the drunk robot. That is my favorite thing of the whole Japanese version of that cartoon is the
drunk robot.
The doctor and the robot being drunk all the time. Because that was not part of the American version.
Yeah, I was talking to a dude today about that, and he's like, man, your knowledge is deep. I'm all, you know, I have a history, but it's still, I'm just barely orbiting. Deep knowledge, but very narrow. So, speaking of deep knowledge,
dun, dun, dun.
We have the dumbest fucking person on the SCOTUS you could possibly ever want.
Oh.
Holy shit.
We talking about the one who couldn't tell you what a woman was, or is this a different one?
Yeah. 8-1 on that ruling. 8-1.
Yeah.
And then she throws shade at Sotomayor and fucking who's the other one?
Shit, I don't know right now.
The other dumb justice. I'm drawing a blank on her name. Anyway, but yeah, so 8-1, and she just put out the most insane, nonsensical rambling about it. And holy shit. Kagan, thank you, Jeff. Alana Kagan, and yeah. But KJB, I mean,
see, my problem
Sotomayor and Kagan have to be pissed.
I was gonna say I wasn't exactly sure if you, because I thought I heard you say Sotomayor's name, and I couldn't think of the other one. But yeah, it's Elena Kagan. So thank you, Jeff.
Yeah,
my brain went nope.
Yeah, nope.
So back to the whole Artemis thing for just a second. One of the dumbest things I saw tonight actually happened on Fox News, because they had a CGI representation of the ship in space, and it even said recreation in the corner. And Brett Baer was like, "Do they have a camera up there? That's an awesome shot."
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Dude, really? You know, You don't see the spot in the corner that says recreation? You missed that, did you? Anyway, but I'm just glad that went as well as it did, because I have to admit,
I am too.
I had been nervous about it all day because I'm like, oh my God, it's been so long since we've tried to do anything like this. And it's good. And then I was just like, and if something goes sideways, the left's going to have a field day. And I'm like, please, no. And I have to admit, I almost didn't even want to watch it. And then I wound up trying not to bawl when I did. So, emotional roller coaster. Yeah. It's just it's such a big deal to me that we are sending people back into space that is not low Earth orbit. Because, like I said, and we've talked about this on Juxtaposition, I honestly thought it wouldn't happen in our lifetime. Because I couldn't figure out why we stopped, other than the couple of theories that we've bantered about on Juxtaposition about why.
Oh, I'll say it. We went to the moon. We were just told not to come back. I mean...
Yeah, which is why I'm a little concerned that we're suddenly going back. So either we've been told
maybe we
it's
got
okay
permission,
now, or we're about to get smacked. I don't know which one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because I was thinking about it when you were talking about that, or when you were alluding to it earlier. I'm like, if you think about it, only half of our Mars rovers have really succeeded too, because they keep getting smacked down around Phobos and Deimos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Jeff. Now we have a space force. We get the, everybody thinks that, we're just doing it for anti-satellite warfare. No, we got the X-303.
Oh, yeah, no, I've been saying for a long time, I have a feeling there's some more SGC style stuff going on than we know.
Yeah.
Especially because, one of the things that kind of got buried in the news cycle was our federal government buying the domain aliens.gov.
Okay. Either it's for immigration, either it's for immigration from around the world or around the universe. Either way, I'm 100% there for it, because it's absolutely going to set the left on fire. Either way. So,
dude, Jeff, there's still so much material we haven't covered. You could do a show that was 100% this and still barely touch on it. So, dude, have fun with it. When is the last time we were actually able to talk about on live broadcasts that we have people outside of Earth orbit?
Yeah, we could totally do a Jux on that this weekend. Do a panel show if Jeff's up to it.
That would be kind of awesome. We actually probably should do that.
We haven't talked space in a long time. And, yeah.
Yeah, with as hot as this topic's going to be over the next few days, I think that's actually a really good idea. So I think we should do that.
Yeah, and he's sending me Japanese goth in Discord, so he's actually no help for my concentration right now.
You don't need to concentrate. It's just like
I can do. Yeah, this is an autopilot show. We can. Yeah. No, if Jeff, you're down, I'd love to do that, and then you could do a follow up on LW if you wanted to punt it in the crease this weekend or something. But just thoughts, putting it out there. Anyway, yeah. So what else is on your mind? What's grinding your gears, Rick? Because I've been stuck in Japan all day, so I have a passing view of what's going on in the world right now. And might I just say again, Japan, thank you for the timeline cleanse.
Yeah, dude. I just like I said, the biggest thing for me today, especially over the last couple hours, is watching the whole "we never actually went to the moon" crowd coming back out again. Yeah, trust me, we went to the moon. We were just told not to come back.
Somebody did that last week. Somebody did that in my feed where they were talking about how because it's on April 1st, it's just a hoax. And they said, well, imagine believing that we actually went to the moon. Imagine believing we actually went to the moon. And my reply to him was, imagine believing there actually is a moon.
Yeah, I saw that too. I would have been a little more nuanced with it. It's like, imagine believing that our moon is a natural satellite.
Yes. So, right.
Dude, what is up with this Jimmy's Famous Seafood account that's like shown up out of nowhere?
Oh, dude, they're throwing photos. The brands are at it again.
It's just
that guy is brutal.
They've been all over my feed lately, and now they're Now they're all over the Verge's post about the Artemis moon base project is legally dubious because we're going back to our colonial roots. I'm like, dude, we were the first country to plant a flag there. It's fucking ours. Go away.
That we know about.
We licked it. Go away.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, man. There's a compelling documentary. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called Iron Sky.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
Okay.
But the Nazis got there first. Yeah.
Yeah. Massive space battle around it. Fucking wake up, sheeple.
But yeah, I mean, there hasn't really been a lot grinding my gears today because most of the news that I've been seeing is kind of all around this stuff. Then, of course, there was, his speech tonight where he basically at one point mentioned that if they don't come to their senses, we're going to bomb them back to the Stone Age. I'm like, dude, they're in the Stone Age now.
Yeah. Mission accomplished.
I don't know how you can bomb them any further into the Stone Age. I mean, you might be able to bomb them out of the Stone Age at this point, maybe.
Right.
But,
we're going to bomb them into the 70s. Sweet. The Persian women were hot then. And by the way, Persian women, don't think I've forgotten about you just because I have a whole bunch of hot goth Japanese chicks in my timeline now. Still really, I am prepared for you to be unleashed upon the world. Stand up, get your freedom, and you can be part of the harem West. I'll just do all of South Asia.
See, then you get your Far East harem and your Middle East harem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same.
I'm a rambling guy. I get around.
I mean, dude, if it involved Persian women and Japanese women, I could travel.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh man. So yeah, it actually is getting to be that time. What are you watching?
Let's see, what have I been watching? Well, since I'd been sick for the last few days, I basically sat down and rewatched The Good Place. I forgot how much I actually enjoyed that show for the stupid premise that it actually was.
It's kind of fun.
There was a lot of woke BS in there too, but it was still fun because I actually really like Kristen Bell in almost everything that I've seen her in. So.
Yeah, she's hot.
But it's funny because she plays the same characters in pretty much everything she's in. That doesn't matter. It could be Veronica Mars. It could be The Good Place. She's basically still playing the same smart-ass, really smart person, figuring everything out. But yeah, but I actually didn't realize that I never really watched that all the way through to the end until the other day when I watched the last few episodes. And I'm like, okay, I thought I'd seen all of these.
Good Place or Veronica Mars?
Huh?
Good Place or Veronica Mars?
Good Place.
Okay.
I didn't know until a few weeks ago that there was a 2019 reboot of Veronica Mars that lasted for one season. I didn't like how that ended though, so I was kind of mad about that. But
think about Veronica Mars. We get it. Women lawyers are bitchier than men lawyers.
Well, that's not a lie though either, but still.
No. No, I follow a lot of I follow a lot of women, female lawyers on Twitter.
Well,
I love y'all. I love y'all.
You know what they say about good female lawyers, though?
What's that?
They're very cunning linguists.
Joke well crafted, sir. I mean, the divorce lawyer in my first divorce, she was fantastic. Fiery little redhead out of Vegas. I think it was anyway. She actually enjoyed beating up my wife's lawyer in court because he was such a moron. So nice. She did it for a loaf of bread and like a $1,500 retainer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. She said, I do it just to humiliate him. So, it's fantastic. Bully for me.
But yeah, so I watched that. Actually, again, forgot how much I enjoyed it. Didn't realize that I didn't watch the 4th season. Been watching a little bit of TJ Hooker after Janelle brought it up the other day. Irony of that is the show is 1,000,000 times worse than Star Trek, the original series, and it got 6 seasons instead of 3.
But, I mean, come on, it had Jimmy Darren in it.
I mean, I'm not saying it was a bad show, The funny thing is, I'm sitting here and I'm watching it, and the captain in T.J. Hooker is like one of the ones is like an admiral from Star Trek: The Next Generation years later. I'm like, oh, I recognize that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I recognize that guy. That's been the weird thing for me, is going back through and kind of having things kind of pop up by accident, like not realizing that the guy that plays the white nerd in the neighborhood was actually one of the deputies in Veronica Mars, and also played on the Fox show. I think it was a Fox show, The New Girl, and played a completely chauvinist asshole, because I found an episode of that by accident because I fell asleep on Peacock, and when whatever I was watching, it rolled over into that next, and I woke up to that voice going, I didn't think this network had The Neighborhood on it. And I was like, wait, that's not The Neighborhood. That's that weird show I never watched called New Girl, which is not something I'll
Forgot
keep
about
watching.
New Girl.
But yeah, I don't know if I'll keep watching it, but I was like, dude, I know like 2 or 3 of the people that are in the show, so I might actually try to watch it for a minute. But I don't know. I mean, it can't be any worse than watching Starfleet Academy. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I hope they don't even play season 2. I really do. I hope that they just pretend the whole thing didn't happen.
Oh, good Lord. Red Steez has Marco Rubio in a spacesuit with a plunger.
That Marco Rubio meme, it's
never
never going to get old.
It's never going to die. But yeah, it was a quote tweet from a post from Steve Lookner. NASA says it will take a few hours to troubleshoot the Artemis toilet. And it's got Marco Rubio wearing a spacesuit sitting on the couch with a plunger.
That's fantastic.
Okay, I almost laughed myself to death on the air there for a second. Huh, wow. Anyway, but yeah. What about you? What are you watching? Anything new?
I've been watching a lot of background stuff. It's I keep trying to start Fallout, and then I'll get like 5 minutes into it and fall asleep. Not because again I don't want to watch it, just for like I said, for the last couple weeks, I've been completely at peace or something. Where as soon as I lay my head against the pillow, I am out, absolutely just cooked. And yeah, so I mean, just background noise. I've been on YouTube. I've been watching, some D&D stuff, and for the Curse of Stephaneros and my campaign that's coming up after, and watching a lot of like the military channel or military show at Cappy Army and stuff, just to keep up with what's going on. Those channels. Okay, Cappy Army isn't as bad, but the military show, it's good, but because they're pumping out 3, 4, 5 videos a day, there's a whole lot of like previously on the military show, where they just say the same fucking things over and over. And then I figured out I can skip to the last 10, 15 minutes of the video to find out what the video is actually about. So that saves a lot of time, which is efficiency. But yeah, I wish I could sit down and get into something lately. I've just been zonking out, which is fantastic.
Nice. All right. So I do have a This Day in History / April Fool's Day joke, and I don't know if you've seen this one yet. So on April 1st, 1974, a man in Alaska dropped hundreds of tires on a dormant volcano and lit them on fire. The entire area was evacuated because they thought there was an eruption underway.
Oh, that's fantastic. 70s trolling. I love you. That's what you had to put effort into trolling, Right? I mean, you couldn't just like, fart out an AI beam in 5 minutes. You had to work at it, bro. I mean, you had to hump all those tires out there. You had to do the work. You had to put in the work, and I admire and respect that.
All right, but yeah, so I thought that was hilarious. I was like, okay. So yeah,
No,
that's
that's
back when you
fantastic.
really had to work for your jokes, though. It's not,
Yeah. It's like we've talked about. That's when you had to work to like find out your Bigfoot conspiracies and everything too. I mean, you had to put I joke now that I learned celebrity gossip against my will, but back in the day, you had to put in your research. You couldn't just half-ass it. Yeah. So, what do you got going on this week?
Yeah, most of the usual stuff. So I'll be off most of the day tomorrow. I'm gonna try to carve out some writing time. Planning on hopefully doing a Jen and Rick tomorrow night, and then Friday is becoming a busy day for me again. So Rick Robinson's show at noon, weekend news roundup at 3. He said, she said at 8:30, and then of course you and I have Juxtaposition on Saturday night. And it looks like we've decided to do a space-related show since it's been a minute. That's kind of the hot topic. Yeah. So I guess we'll see what we can put together about that. Other than that, just going to try to sit down and start doing some writing again because I haven't been doing much of that again lately. I got back in the swing of it for a couple of weeks, and then things went to shit again. So I can't get consistent, man. But
hey, these things happen.
But yeah, I'm also, hoping I don't have a repeat of last night when I was out running errands and taking care of things that I had to get taken care of and came home and we didn't have power for like an hour. And I'm like, I expected this tomorrow when we have thunderstorms and potential tornadoes, not tonight. But apparently there were some straight line winds that came through and messed something up. But it only took them like an hour to get it fixed. So I guess it wasn't that bad for living in the middle of nowhere. So there's that. What about you? Yeah. What do you got going on? What's going on with you?
Oh shit. Let's see. Tomorrow I've got the Culture Shift with Brad with the Fantastic Hairs. We take our deep dive into the business side of the entertainment industry. Friday night you have the Curse of Stefaneros, where myself, Vincent Charles, Janie Mack, Delaney, the EP are all playing D&D with Jeff as the DM. Saturday, Juxtaposition with you. Sunday, I got the Vincent Charles Project. And then Tuesday, we're back with Men Explained Poorly. Yes, nailed it. Fuck yeah.
You got it right. Yay.
And you can find me balls deep in Japan Twitter on as Ordnance Packard.
Oh, dude, you so missed it.
Yeah.
Should have been.
What's that?
You can find me balls deep in Japanese goth girls on Twitter.
Don't I wish? God damn it, Jeff.
Oh, all right. So that's going to do it for us for tonight because it doesn't look like there is going to be a Edge of Liberty. So
yeah, I saw Sean was on early doing Artemis.
Yeah, well, they've been running stuff all day, so I guess with everything that was going on, I think they just decided to do that, but which is cool with me. But anyway. All right, so I think that's going to do it for us for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow night. Amish will be back tomorrow night. And then, of course, busy day on Friday and usual stuff on Saturday. But we're going to get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Sorry for the interruptions with the feeds. Like I said, I think there may have been a mini power flash going on somewhere that knocked something partway off because I know I had some high winds and lightning and stuff coming through for about 30 minutes earlier. So that may have been it. I'm going to go turn on the weather and make sure I'm not about to wind up in Oz. I know, wrong place.
NTM, it's a twister. It's a twister.
Oi, oi, oi.
Hail Hydra.
No hailing of the Hydra. We've had this discussion.
I was gambling in Havana. I took a little risk. Send lawyers, guns, and money.